Apparently, the PlayStation Network locked millions of players out of digital games for over 7 hours. And this just has me thinking, let's break down the PlayStation debacle going on right now between digital and physical games and give you my thoughts on it. And I'm curious on your guys' thoughts down below, because I don't know about you, but my feed is just constantly keeping up with the stuff going on with Sony. So if you haven't seen or heard the news that PlayStation is going to axe the disk drive. So there's been pretty much, oh my gosh, what has it been now? Like 2 to 3 weeks straight of just people being pissed on social media about it. And I don't entirely blame people. My personal feelings so far with seeing everything going on is that the reason I don't think getting rid of the disk drive would have been such a big deal if companies weren't being so predatory and requiring you to log in online. And seeing what has now happened today, as of this post being updated about 2 hours ago and stuff, this is exactly why people are annoyed by that. So if you just could play your games offline like a regular computer and you didn't have to log into all this account bullshit, and it actually just saved to your drive and functions like a normal computer, I don't think people would be so upset about this. But you can't play your games online. This was actually recently, or play your games offline. This is actually something I just complained about on Twitter the other day, and with my stream with finishing Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, I couldn't play the fucking game offline. I went to go play it on my Steam Deck offline, and I could not do it. I had a 4-hour car ride, and I could not play Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced offline because Ubisoft decided to force you to fucking log in to be able to access the store and the dumbass battle pass. What bullshit. And I understand it's a free battle pass. That's a whole other rant I could get into, but it had me pissed off. So it's just, we're moving into all this media stuff. I think I have most of my games digital, and I think a lot of us are. However, I still collect old media. I collect it with my GameCube. Like, I have a shit ton of GameCube games, and I want to get into collecting more old tech and stuff like that, you know, when I have more time to splurge on stuff like that. I've been collecting actually DVDs and whatnot. I have all the South Park episodes and seasons on DVD. I have Game of Thrones, stuff like that. I'm tired of having to go to and subscribe to 500 different platforms. I think that's again, like I said, I think this is where this is all kind of stemming from. People are tired of having to subscribe to everything and not actually ever owning everything. PlayStation had this huge issue. This was actually, I think, around when they got rid of the digital disc drive, or right before it. They got rid of a bunch of movies. And even if you purchased those movies, you lost the license to them. So if you paid the $12 or whatever the hell it was to own those DVDs or that movie on your PlayStation because you bought it through PlayStation, you can't watch it anymore on your PlayStation. Like, that's ridiculous. That's insane. And I believe it's something like, if you don't use your PlayStation, and I think Xbox, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I'm pretty certain Xbox also has the same rule, where if you don't log into your account for 2 to 3 years, you lose access to all your games. God forbid you travel or something and you don't get to use it, or say you can't afford to play it anymore, so you sell, because the economy's rough, God forbid you sell your console, okay? And you at some point down the line, you want to play your games again. You can't download any of them because you lost all the rights to it because you haven't logged into that account for 2 to 3 years on your PlayStation device. That's crazy. I don't understand how people are not more up in arms about that. That's nuts. We don't own our games anymore, and it's really frustrating. And maybe Steam has similar rules. I've not heard about it. I feel like this is, a lot of consoles are just kind of killing themselves. Ubisoft is doing crazy shit. PlayStation's doing crazy stuff. Xbox has been surprisingly doing really well, in my opinion, with the changes they've done. That can be a whole other video. I've been really impressed with the changes they've done, especially with the CEO, because I was very concerned and critical with her being so AI forward and all the stuff she had done with Copilot and whatnot. That we were going to be absolutely hosed with Xbox, but Xbox seems to be going in a good direction, but they're unfortunately still bleeding a lot of money. But this whole PlayStation stuff's crazy. So I just opened up, here's basically what's going on. So Sony's PlayStation Network went out around 11 a.m. UTC on Friday, which is today as of this recording, with all services from account logins and multiplayer to the PlayStation Store, still offline late evening, which I'm guessing is now. So yeah, that's around now. So it's still, wait, is it still out? Oh, it's out right now, potentially. Users reported spikes in login failures and app launch issues. I'm so sorry. I need to get a dyslexic font that translates to everything. And I haven't done it yet. It makes everything so hard to read. Blocking, especially when it comes to paragraphs like this. Blocking access to downloaded games that need PlayStation Network checks through physical disc, though physical disc owners played offline without trouble. The outage hits amid Sony's plan to end physical disc production for new games in by January 2028, promoting quips like, "This is the digital-only future," from frustrated players. It's the 7th major PlayStation Network disruption this year, with Sony investigating but offering no fixed timeline. This is why, yeah, it's nice to know Sony's prepared to go all digital. PlayStation Network is down and I can't play any of my digital games. This is crazy. I understand if a game is online, right? But this guy can't play Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 or 2 offline. He can't play Outer Wilds. He can't play Red Dead Redemption 2. Look at all those locked logos. It looks like GTA somehow might be the only one they can't play right now. What on earth? All my digital games work. The account you're on has to own the games in order for you to set them a console on your main. You're only blocked because you've put barriers in your own way in this situation. What does that even mean? I do own the games and I've never shared them. All I did was restart my console earlier and Sony just basically thinks I don't have a license for them. This is a prime reason when I own your digital games should be banned. Is it not your primary console? Shouldn't need PlayStation Network to play your games if it's set to your primary. It actually is my primary and I haven't gotten console share on either. I restarted my PlayStation 5 earlier at a bad time and everything just shit the bed all at once. Okay, so I'm presuming here what this is sounding like is main account while the network is down and leave my profile. Yeah, see, this is like dumb. Make sure your account is set to primary so you can still play. It actually is everything just off itself. Yeah, okay. So the issue is if you restart your console at all, which is, here's my thing. I feel like the people calling bullshit, if the dude responded, should at least be saying something back that like, hey, tested that. Maybe Sony has an out for it. It works for everyone else who bought the game digitally, but not you. Okay, yet there's thousands of tweets on this and articles being made. Let's look at this BBC News article too. A PlayStation Network outage with some unable to play. According to Down Detector, which tracks outages, tens of thousands of people reported problems globally. Okay, so that guy's not lying. That guy's not lying. With the service on Friday. This is where I hate when people immediately say someone's lying without like doing research and stuff. Oh my goodness. What was it the other day? Or just not use, it's just like common sense. Like I understand there's a lot of false information out there, but like the outage, which affected gamers' ability to launch apps or networks for the plate, prompted some highlight concerns. By Friday evening, all affected services were up and running. Okay, so they are up now, hopefully, according to the PlayStation status page. Yes, okay. So that's what some of these images were. Was the status page. Okay, so even the PlayStation status page was showing that they were having issues. Okay, can't play digital games until you fix it. You gotta put my disc in and I can play it. The all digital feature looks great. See, here's my thing. I understand. What I don't understand is how many people are actually purchasing discs, right? This is 3 weeks ago from Reddit. I'm just curious what this says. There's a misunderstanding on how many people actually buy physical games. I keep seeing people say that 50% of the video game sales are physical, so many as well as all digital. That statistic is flawed. Sony included indie games or any other game that doesn't have a physical release in the start. It skews the stats to make it look more favorable for digital games. If Sony removed the games that don't have any physical releases, that 15% would be much higher. Edit for people asking for proof. It's on the footnote. Footnote 11 of page 12 within the Sony supplement to information for Q4 filed on May 2026. Edit 2. And for the people who are saying it still doesn't matter because digital still dominates, it absolutely does matter. It proves that losing access to physical impacts more people than you think. This will result in lower sale percentages and or more infrequent sales. That is bad for consumer no matter how you slice it. And if you buy digital only, why do you insult the people that still want the physical? This is insane. I'm starting to feel like I'm talking to bots. Yeah, I mean, they just proved that the dead internet theory is more or less real, so like odds are you probably are talking to a bot online unless you have confirmation that's a real person on the other side. And no, I would like to see physical media stay around. I really don't feel like the disk drive is that expensive to take up that much space in the consoles. I do think it is an extra cost and they just want to get rid of it. I think the real reason though, to kind of get rid of costs and stuff like that, people like it for the collector's edition sakes and whatnot. Didn't people just get a code? Oh no, that's what they're doing for GTA. Oh my gosh, people that were ordering disc copies, they're getting codes instead of discs. I don't know about you, but I hate typing those digital codes in. I mean, I guess you can go online now to redeem PlayStation games that way and whatnot. But that shit's annoying. I would much rather just put a freaking disc in for stuff like that. I really think the root cause or the issue of all of this is people would not be so upset about digital if these gaming companies weren't being so tyrannical over you owning your games. I think if they stop saying, oh, you have to have a service to own your games and shit like that, like, tell your gamers they own the games. Stop putting this bullshit where you have to log in to access your games. It's just, you shouldn't have to be online. You should not have to be online to access your library. Like, straight up, even if you uninstall your games or not. Once it's downloaded on there, once you purchase it, it should save the key on your device, even if the game isn't downloaded, that it can it's a one-time verification. You should not have to do it every time you log in to verify that you have access and own that game. It's insane, redundant game usage. And I don't know if they're doing this or they switched over this, because I remember, what was it? G2G or some website like that. You could basically buy game keys off of there. I don't know if it's because the game key market's predatory. I don't know if it's because they're worried about piracy, but I can promise you more people are going to pirate games with the way things are going. If you piss gamers off, they will pirate things. This is just users in general. It's the reason that we're seeing more people, I feel like, than ever, pirate digital media for movies and TV shows, because people are tired of having to subscribe to different services. You have to literally Google, if you want to watch something, you have to Google what platform a movie's on. We're about to go back to TV. I don't know if you guys remember this. Some of you are old enough for this. I know most of my demographic is older than myself, but for those of you that might be young and watching, back in the day, you just purchased TV and all the channels and everything were on there. And then if you wanted to buy an extra movie that was showing on like HBO, if you didn't have access to HBO, then you just bought the movie as like one time. It's kind of like what you do in hotel rooms. Now what it is like you have to have a bunch of different subscription services, but it used to be you paid like $50 a month for your TV and you had access to everything. You had access to every TV show, whatever was airing on TV at that time. Now, I do think it's a little different with live streaming services and whatnot, but it's all gonna change. It's all gonna swing back to just like live TV in one form or another, because this shit, we have a subscription for everything, and the fact that everything has to be online is just so annoying. It's so fucking frustrating. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Yeah, I'm getting a little off topic and ranting about how the digital subscription shit's pissing me off. I just feel like people would be a lot happier and Sony could just solve things if they'd be like, hey, we're gonna stop fucking you over by requiring you to have to log in to verify your games every single time so you can still play your digital media offline, and everything would be solved. You can do that with Steam. I can be not connected to my internet as long as it's not an online game. I can play it offline. Outside of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resanced, which forces you to fucking log in. But, you know, so stupid Ubisoft. Gotta connect to the fucking Ubisoft servers. You know what pissed me off the most about that? I even Googled it. And it said, as long as you launch the game one time, I can play it offline. As long as I've launched it once and connected to the internet, I can play it offline. It was a fucking load of horse shit, dude. A load of horse shit. It just stalled out and I couldn't fucking do it. Again, I'm not a giant disc collector, but I think disc collectors would be a little less upset if gamers just actually owned the right to their fucking games when they buy them. This is why people like Steam. They're not... I guarantee you cannot log into your Steam account for years and you're not going to lose your games. I have so many games downloaded because I'm just waiting for the day that the internet doesn't work anymore. So they're already preloaded on my computer. I don't know if any of you guys get paranoid about that, but I'm like, okay, gotta make sure Baldur's Gate 3 stays on my computer, Cult of the Lamb, you know, all this sorts of stuff. Oh, if I get bored, maybe a group Jackbox game IRL, Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 3. Everything is sitting on my computer on the chance that shit hits the fan, because I know those games are gonna fucking work. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I doubt anybody from Sony's gonna watch this fucking video. Guys, just fucking stop saying people don't own their games. You would stop getting backlash on all this digital shit. If discs are fucking pre-order, how are they losing out on disc sales? Respectfully. I do merch, I sell you guys merch here and there when we do drops and whatnot. I'd say we do like 3 a year roughly. And we do pre-order. And guess what? We order a little bit extra on the chance somebody's stuff gets fucked up, but we know what you guys are ordering, so we order the right amount so we don't get fucked over on costs and ordering too much. So if they're doing pre-orders for disc sales, they shouldn't be losing fucking money on it anyways. So I don't get that. I don't, when people are like, oh, it costs so much to do discs. Okay, well then it sounds like Sony's like printing way too many discs. And if they're printing too many discs, why the fuck are they not doing a pre-order process? There's a lot of shit that it's just not adding up in the slightest. Again, I get the argument with like, oh, discs aren't as popular, but like there's literally a win-win, I feel like, for everybody. I had the idea of doing, oh, what if we just had sticks, like larger USB sticks, like as a plugin, and just run your games on that. I know they don't run as like quote unquote as smooth or whatever, but if we're gonna argue the disk drive is taking up too much space, why don't we have a solution like that? And I did see someone, I pointed that out on Twitter, someone's like, oh, well then, that unfortunately is the way USB sticks are built, which I hadn't looked into. It requires RAM and whatnot like that built into it or something, or memory, right? Which is really fucking expensive right now, so that would probably be more expensive than discs, but it would be an alternative that people could still maybe plug in and play offline. I don't know. We have external hard drives we can plug in, and while they're not the most optimal, I'm sure if we studied enough, we could find a different option. I feel like a lot of companies just don't want to be innovative anymore. It's, let's just force people to bend to our whim, not make the consumer happy, and just kind of fuck over customers in the process. It's so weird. I just don't get it. We've stopped being innovative. It might be more of a US thing. Maybe it's not an everywhere thing, but I've just noticed it with like everything. Every product, all these products we have, we're gonna reprint the same thing that breaks on you within like a year. So you have to buy more rather than just making a solid product or just innovating and trying to find a solution. So I'm getting down a rabbit hole. We don't need to get into spiritual talk right now, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The entire world going to shit, pissing me off with things like that. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you have a good rest of yours. I'm going to enjoy my tea and go play Path of Exile with my husband on stream. So yeah, have a good Saturday, guys. I think Jackie's gonna edit this in the morning. If not, have a good Sunday. And God, I hope the gaming scene gets better. Ah!